And they're off.
Woo, race. Okay, so let's see what they start off with here. Basically, they're going to be looking for essentially a couple different things, but they all amount to variants on being able to leave this room with the without opening that door there, but unfortunately that's not going to happen here. Only one key, no spells, and not enough MP to use return if they did have it, so. And that goes for both players here.
Yeah, so jkoper decides to save his money, which is so in case he dies he would not lose half of it, whereas RCT decides to go exploring and finds a cave. Looks like Swamp South from the looks of it to me.
Yeah, let's see what we see here. Going up, going right. Yeah, that would be Swamp South from my guess as well. He's gonna opt to, I guess, go... maybe stick around and grind a little bit. Or, no, he's going exploring. Very interesting.
Alright, jkoper does find the same cave and tries to walk through it, but finds a knight right away, and because he saved, he can reset very quickly.
That's right.
So he might try and pursue the dream of finding a backdoor to Tantagel or the Garenham.
Yes, that's what I was about to say, and I was found it a little bit curious that RCTMid didn't do the same thing there, but yes, it does look like jkoper is going to attempt to get through this cave, but so far it is not going very well for him.
Meanwhile, RCT gets a lucky hit on the Magician, he gets the excellent move, and he moves up to level 2.
He does, and that was about the worst possible level he could get without it being an EmptyEye level. 1-2-1-1 for his stat increases. Yikes.
So some nasty things all around. Both of them seem to be trying to explore a little bit, I assume because they have money. The dream is, of course, you can find the town or something and then buy some equipment very quickly.
Yes, indeed. But so far, that is not going so well. Let's see, jkoper trying a different direction. Going, oh.
I think I saw something.
Yep, I saw it. Well, we saw a town. Let's see what it is.
Indeed, to the north, and we find...
Breckenary.
Yes.
Not a terrible find early on. We'll see what they can purchase here.
Yeah, usually it's not too exciting in the beginning of the game or any time in the game, but in the beginning of the game, if you have money, it's always nice to be able to buy something. So he did buy, I see, the hand axe and the chainmail.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's absolutely a great start for jkoper there. Those are two very strong items early in the game.
Yeah, that is the hand axe is a 15 attack power boost, and then I'll also get the dragon scale here, which is a permanent 2 defense boost. Chainmail, I forget what the actual defense boost on that is, so I'm not even going to speculate, but it's pretty decent early on, let's say that.
Especially considering he's level 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's always a factor here. Meanwhile, we see RCTMid going up to level 3.
Did you notice his stats?
I see 0 HP! I love it!
Though he actually did get quite a significant strength and MP boost.
Yes, outside of the 0 HP, that was actually a very good level, especially the MP, although I still don't believe he still has any spells yet to do anything with all that MP.
jkoper does don the scale of the dragon, though, after taking a little walk.
Yes, he does. Speaking of the dragon, the dragon, that green dragon, not happy that he donned that dragon scale.
No, he is unhappy that his scale missing is now on a human.
No. So jkoper here, saving again, yes. I suppose just in case of a, I don't know if he's using a power pack or an emulator, but, you know, a crash or something like that. Which has happened to me on occasion during races, so.
Also,
yeah.
I believe it is just faster if you can spam it quick enough off of death. It is faster than sitting through the music and the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the death animation, the music does take a little while. And yeah, during my first race, I did have a crash on the EverDrive, unfortunately, so yes, saving often, always good.
Yes, I do remember that.
It took me about 3 different emulators for some reason, a whole bunch of them wouldn't work with my computer, and it took me 3 different ones to find one that wouldn't crash after an hour and a half of playing straight.
Hmm.
Oh wow. While RCTMid up to level 4 here.
Oh,
it is
yes.
a gigantic agility boost and
Oops.
0 MP! I love it! So hopefully we'll see jkoper start to catch up a little bit here now that he does have that hand axe. Yeah, you can now just kill that scorpion at level 1, which will get him, I believe, 1 experience point away from level 3.
Yes, level 7, or 17 experience, rather, is level 3. So the next enemy will get him to level 3. And he will get the lovely...
Yes,
what was it?
magician
The
there.
0 HP?
Yes, it's the 0 HP, 40 MP level. Also the agility. Well, okay, the agility isn't super great. The agility was 3 on that level up, but...
It's like RCT.
Rogue Scorpion still going to be a little bit too tough for him, especially when it gets the jump on him.
So RCT comes across Sherlock.
Yep, it looked like he paused there to note that on his map.
Yeah, he might be mapping that out there. That is my guess. And is jkoper? Uh-oh. Okay, so how about I exit out of Steam so I don't get my bandwidth sucked up that way?
I'm just trying to peer at their stats here so I can be sure that these are accurate names to their builds, but I'm pretty sure it's alright. It would just be their strength and the agility that is varying.
Yeah, I've looked it up. Capital L is a strength agility build.
So jkoper does hit level 4 as well. He's catching up a little bit, of course. In the early levels, it doesn't matter quite as much. It's more so later game where you really have to start worrying about the level gaps.
Yes, indeed. And, you know, until the mid to late game, even a seemingly big experience gap doesn't mean that much. Because, you know, by the end of... well, I suppose if you get particularly bad level ups for long enough, it'll be 3,000 experience points per level by the end when you get into, like, the 18, 19 range. But, more typically, you know, it's going to be, I think, 2250 is the, is what it would take for 1 level up for most randomizer seeds, which end in about the level 15 to level 16 range tends to be the target.
So RCT, okay, he actually did get to level 6. He had found a metal slime, so he got 2 levels from that because they're worth 255 experience, and he also finds Breckenry, so he can buy... Oh.
Right now, not a whole lot.
Yeah. Did he not purchase anything from that?
Looks like he did not keep his gold from earlier, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I don't believe he did save in the beginning, so... For his few deaths, he did die. Though I'm sure he will don a dragon scale, or he will not. He stocks up on herbs, and that's... Oh, he did get one, I did not see that. And he dons it. So, there's your dragon scale for modesty.
Yes, and I missed if there were or were not spells the last couple of levels, but it looks like people are saying still no spells in the chat.
I don't believe there were.
That's kind of crazy.
RCT with one of the saddest moments in a randomizer when you don't even have enough gold to stay at the Breckenary Inn. You don't have 6 golds to pair together.
That is rare. He did find another metal slime, but it ran away.
Yes, looks like jkoper now. He's going to take a swing at this Wolf Lord here. He might be trying again to live the dream of the Swamp Cave.
Though he got a Wolf Lord, I believe that should get him to another level. Oh, I was wrong. 165.
RCTMid here finds the Sunlight Shrine. Finds an herb. And now jkoper hits level 6.
Yes.
no, the dream does not come true. Yeah, jkoper does opt to explore a little bit around wherever the swamp caves spat him out.
Yeah, you never know. You could find a town or something else nearby. Or a bunch of swamp.
Yep. There's some dead-end mountains there. And Druid Lords with Stop Spell, which is interesting, making them a pretty nice enemy to grind on here.
Yeah, I really like them for the sort of mid-level grind when you don't have the Hermore yet, but you're sort of stronger. Their strength is actually pretty decent so far.
Yeah, they've been getting some good strength ups, and of course, jkoper does also have the hand axe, which helps as well.
Yeah, looks like that's an extra 20. No, not quite 20. 15-ish?
15, yep.
Yes.
It's one of those weapons that casually I very rarely, if ever, purchased. I would usually just go from the copper sword to the broadsword. But in the randomizer, especially if you in a situation like we saw at the start here, where you have the gold in the throne room, and you can make it to a town that sells the hand axe quickly, it's actually a very good buy for the early to mid game.
Yeah, at the very beginning, I would say you'd probably want to prioritize getting strength out of whatever you can from the towns, because that can help a lot with the early grinding.
Yeah, the nice thing about the hand axe and randomizer is, just based on the gold values of a lot of chests, you can afford it just by opening one chest, so.
Yes, very true.
Huge power increase for RCTMid there.
Yes, level 7 now, and there are some spells, and I believe I saw Hermore.
Yes, hurt. I believe there's also a regular hurt and sleep. Which sleep can be useful. Hurt probably not going to see too much use in the wake of also getting hurt more.
Yeah.
But, for those of you who have never played the randomizer, in Vanilla Dragon Warrior, hurt more is rather useless, just because of you get it very late when you've already got all the best stuff in the game. And so you're either going to be killing things in one shot, or anything you're going to be fighting is highly resistant to hurt more. But in the randomizer, hurt more actually hugely useful. Probably the spell you most want to see in your spell list at the start of the randomizer seed.
Oh, it's hurt and heal more, actually.
Heal more, okay, which is also very useful. Although, yeah, I read it as hurt more too, so you weren't alone. But that makes none of what I said actually false regarding hurt more. Heal are also rather useful, although probably less so than hurt more, at least until you get a little bit more HP. But
definitely
RCTMid found Hawksness. Let's see what he does here with that.
Yeah, with heal more, killing whatever's there could be obtainable. It does depend, though. Hermore is usually one you want to go for, but there are some enemies that you don't want to use Hermore on, and in that case you definitely want to have heal more because they're very strong, and it looks like he might try and figure out what is there.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna take a shot and see what's here.
And an Armored Knight.
Yes, the good old AK-47. And the Armored Knight has sleep. Okay then.
So with no stop spell, this is going to be pretty much impossible.
Right. No stop spell, single-digit damage. Honestly, I feel like even without... I think his HP was low enough that actually, even without the sleep, that was going to be a tough, if not impossible, task. But
yeah,
I'm surprised
with the sleep, that really just sealed it.
I'm surprised he even took a swing at that and just didn't try to get lucky running without a weapon. And with so low HP, I think it was basically just going to be, as soon as he heal-mored through the fight, he was just going to get back into the danger zone, so.
I'm going to quickly try and change the audio just because I didn't realize jkoper was going to have a microphone on. So, yeah, that should be better. But yeah, as it was said in chat that I also did mean to mention, jkoper had found Cole, which has the fairy flute. So that could actually mean for Hawksness potentially a spot to have either the armor or Erdrick's token.
Yes. Either one of which is all but essential to completing the game. The token, of course, is absolutely necessary. It's one of the 3 key items you need to make the bridge to Charlock. And then Erdrick's armor, technically not necessary to beat the game, but you need it if you want to do that or to beat the randomizer in any kind of reasonable time. Not even so much for the defense power that it offers, because it's not that much better than the full plate or the magic armor. It's 28 defense, whereas full plate and magic armor both give 24. What you really need it for is its various other properties. It makes you immune to basically damage tiles. It lets you recover 1 HP with every step that you take. Oh, and meanwhile, jkoper has found Rimildar.
Key time.
Yes. That's really going to open up some options for him. And, but as I was saying, the key property of the Erdrick's armor is that it reduces the damage from hurt and hurt more by half, and the damage from both kinds of fire breath by 1/3. And since Dragon Lord 2's attack set is not randomized to always have the Dragon Lord breath, that is absolutely essential, that 1/3 damage reduction, which will reduce the Dragon Lord breath from up to high 60s, low 70s damage down to somewhere in the 40s, basically. So, very important if you want to beat the randomizer in any kind of reasonable time.
RCT looking to grind out a fight with a green dragon here.
Yep, I don't know if he's trying to grind specifically, or if he just happened to find it while exploring and said, what the heck, let's do this.
I think that's what it was. I don't think he was, I don't think he's trying to farm them. I think he was just walking through and happened upon one and said, let's go.
You see, apparently the Rimildar chest was a torch. Which I'm always a fan of it containing like an herb when I already have full herbs. Then it's just empty. And I'm like, yep, that was a good use of 2 keys worth of gold.
Personal favorite is when it holds a key.
Yeah, discount. So after all that fighting, RCT will fall to the green dragon, unfortunately, and jkoper will hit level 8.
Another nice power boost there. On that level.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of an...
stats, not really anything to write home about, but...
Yeah.
Another 10 power.
Yeah, the experience gap is growing between them. I think it's about 200 right now, maybe 150.
Let's see, about 200.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a little surprised RCT hasn't prioritized even getting a copper sword at this point.
Oh, the critical miss, as I like to call it. The excellent
worst.
Move followed by it is dodging.
Oh, he hit another one.
Second excellent move, and that one connects. Very nice.
And then he tried to hurt the trees around him. That's like something I would do.
I have definitely decided after defeating the Dragon Lord, you know what, this ball of light isn't quite making the world bright enough, Radiant. You see RCT fighting a wolf here. jkoper fighting a magician and then running from a droll. Interesting choice. Yeah, looks like he's found another cave here.
Stones of Sunlight Cave.
He's also found the Sunlight Cave, which contained an herb, I believe.
Yes.
Never a terrible thing to find.
Though I suppose he would be potentially looking for a cave that he could set up a gold grind in. Though, if he is killed here, which he is, then he will be sent back to Sherlock, and I assume he will be testing out what is in the treasury and below.
I would have to think so, yes. And if what is... What was I going to say? if it turns out that what is below is the grave or the mountain cave, he could actually theoretically set up what is sometimes called the reverse gold grind here. Which is he basically he finds the Erdrick's token in the treasury. That's nice.
And a small gold chest.
RCT killing a metal slime and actually gaining the experience lead back.
Oh wow!
And he finds the jerk cave
now, right?
I'm not sure about 2. It could be 2, yeah.
Yeah, he did get one earlier as well.
Yeah, he got one earlier. Yep.
And he crit the last one for 52 damage, just slightly overkill.
Just a bit.
You know, in the desert, RCT has found what we call the jerk cave. Meanwhile, it looks like...
It's like Garen's grave.
Found the grave, I believe. So yes, we could be seeing a... looks like we might be seeing a reverse gold grind here.
I am trying to remember. I think Garen's grave works differently and you cannot reverse gold grind. I thought I heard... I believe it was Nest Cardinality talking about that the other day. But I could be dead wrong and was mishearing him.
Well, assuming he is able to make it through the whole cave, we'll at least find out if it's potentially there.
Yeah.
RCT finds the shrine. And finds the cursed belt! Hooray!
The corset, yay!
Oh, okay, no, so you totally can. Okay, I'm dead wrong.
Okay, so there's Erdrick's sword.
And Erdrick's sword, that might not actually be Erdrick's sword.
Oh, it's true. I did click it, but it's possible that it might not be. But let's just try and judge based on the next thing he does fight. I do hope I will be able to get a good look at the inventory.
Yeah, let's see here.
Hits for 35. I don't think so.
35.
I don't think so, because he with the sword he has 115 attack power. I doubt he'd be doing 35 and 30.
Wow, he's really up to 115 with that already? Wow, okay.
With the sword, so I don't believe it because of his low attack, so...
Right.
We have 2 unknown items, thank you to the wonderful glitch, that I assume he'll be checking out when he's done all of the chests.
Yes. On the other hand, there's a 48 that he just did, so I don't know if he's just gotten unlucky with the rolls, or what is going on here, but...
We will find out.
Yeah. He's gonna have to go into the menu eventually, and we'll find out then.
He might have to discard the Axe Ghost here. So he has the Staff of Rain, I see, and that is it that we do not have known so far. Okay, essentially, the stones in the Fighter's Ring are the only other things we're looking for, and at some point...
Yeah. Oh, okay. According to JLo, if it says Erdrick's sword, then it is in fact Erdrick's sword, which is interesting. Alright. Would you mind explaining that, JLo? Because I thought, like, text went wacky when... you were gold grinding. Is it just because it's a sword that automatically goes into the sword slot? By the way, 0 MP! Oh, I love it!
Well, I'm definitely putting sword back in there. And looking at that strength, this is usually what the minimum requirement is for people to go fight the Dragon Lord. So interesting that at level 9 we're already there strength-wise. Of course, there's still hit points and MP to gain, but we're very strong today.
Yes.
So far.
Okay, JLo just says Erdrick's sword never corrupts for whatever reason.
Alright.
Which, interesting. If I had to guess, that would be my best guess. Because
because...
It's not actually in your quote-unquote inventory, per se. It just goes into your kind of equipment slot.
Equips are funny in this game. Now it says he found the club, but I assume, yeah. It had to have been either an herb or a magic key, I think, because he's full otherwise.
Yep. Yeah, that is not a club that he grabbed, obviously.
Now he's found the bamboo pole. I suppose he's grinding on herbs.
I think he's grinding on herbs, or I suppose it could, yes, okay, so he had 3, now he has 4, so that is. He's, grinding those bamboo poles.
Best grind.
So, as we saw there, the gold glitch, or the gold grind, more accurately it is a chest glitch. And essentially the way it works is to prevent you from accidentally opening a chest with a key item and then throwing the key item away. Instead of permanently disappearing a chest, when you open a chest, the game just kind of moves it elsewhere in memory. And the thing is, it can only keep track of... Basically, elsewhere in memory only has room for 8 different chests. And normally that memory gets cleared out when you exit a location. However, it does not get cleared out if you die and return to the throne room. And the throne room, the 3 chests actually do always count as 3 chests. So if you can basically trick the game into thinking you've opened more than 9 chests at a time, the 9th chest and beyond will not actually open, because the elsewhere in memory is full. So the game just doesn't know what to do with the chest you're opening, and so it just doesn't do anything with it. And you can just open it and take its contents over and over and over again. But for whatever reason, when you do that, if that chest does not contain gold, if it contains an item, usually the text string that it tells you what it is gets corrupted, and so what it says it is not what it actually is. We saw some common examples there with bamboo poles and clubs, which cannot be in chests. And then sometimes you get really fun stuff like axe ghosts or sword magidrax in those chests. Which, again, to see what the item actually is, you have to either pick it up and go into your inventory, or if your inventory is full and you drop an item, or you just give up the item. When it says you dropped an item and picked up the blank, that'll tell you what the item actually is.
So meanwhile, RCT had found coal, he got the fairy flute there, and he also purchased some clothes and a small shield. I believe he still has the experience lead. Yes, he does, but obviously with jkoper finding the sword, and they have a long way to go still.
Yes.
The experience will not mean too much.
Again, as we mentioned earlier, 200 experience looks like a lot, but it really isn't. That's basically 1 or 2 enemies in the end game, so...
And also because jkoper does have the sword, but nobody has Hermore, the sword is definitely going to come in handy for the leveling.
Right, that's definitely going to help him out. jkoper maybe pondering his next move here.
I wonder if he wasn't expecting or remembering that as Hawksness. I wonder, but I would imagine that would be his next logical destination, is to go check what's underneath the mini-boss there.
That is one potential idea. Has jkoper found Hawksness yet? I know RCT has.
I don't believe I've seen jkoper in Hawksness.
If he does find it, though, then yes, that would be a logical next step.
Yeah, definitely would be a plan
Knight.
for him.
Yeah, the Axe Knight also has sleeve. Not great.
The family has learned.
Yes, indeed. We see the metal slime attacking before jkoper is ready and then running away. RCT, meanwhile, getting fun policed. jkoper apparently going to resist arrest here from the fun police. I'm not sure that's the best idea. He does manage to get away, though. Oh.
And he runs right into another one.
No, he doesn't. Fun police, please.
And RCT against up another metal slime. I believe he's got 2 hits on it. I could be wrong. That may have only been 1. That's definitely a second there, except that was the 3rd, and so he does get his 3rd metal slime of the game.
There's a 3rd metal slime for RCT. There's a new spell. Oh, there's
this
Hermore.
time, yes, it's Hermore for real. So that'll
This
speed
time
things
he
up
has
for him.
Hermore. Along with Repel and a few other things, it looked like.
And I believe that's Remolder right above him. I don't believe he's found it yet either, so that will also help open up the game for him. He can get into the castle, which will have the Garen's Grave with the sword in it.
Yes, I believe you're right.
Yeah, so the metal slime kill is absolutely keeping him in position here.
Yeah, he's, I would almost say the metal slimes are what are keeping him in this race so far, honestly.
Yeah, 750 experience there, which is, bigger in the early game, but as far as, getting those few extra levels to learn your spells, to learn Herb more or whatever you can get, that can be worth a lot early on. And jkoper also does hit level 10.
Yes, he's still, apparently gonna take a swing at the fun police here. Doesn't look like the fun police have anything interesting in terms of abilities here. They're just gonna hit really hard.
Yeah, pretty standard.
Well, I'm guessing jkoper was doing some math in his head there, because that was a risky swing otherwise.
Yeah, I was going to say, very nice counting on his part there to know
Yes.
that the next attack was absolutely going to kill it.
Yeah.
So yeah, now that he does have Herb more, he probably, RCTMid will probably try and head back to Hawksness.
Yeah,
but
I
also
have to
his
imagine
keys.
That would be, I have to imagine that would be his next move.
Yeah, jkoper, of course, would have the same idea, but as we know, as we believe, hasn't found the Hawksness yet, so it will take a little more exploration on his part to get there.
Yeah. I think if RCT doesn't make that his next objective, it's probably going to be at least a priority.
That
kind of in
and
the back of his mind, if he might wish to do a little more exploration, but I think next time he dies,
yeah,
that should, I would say, certainly be his next objective, is getting back
that
to
and also
Hawksness
check out the
stuff like that.
treasury. And I believe neither of them have found Callan yet.
jkoper here hitting level 11. Nice strength and agility boost there from that level.
So I suppose because we do know that jkoper found the token, that either Hawksness or the coordinate location is actually going to be empty.
Yes, that is true.
And there we can confirm on jkoper's screen that indeed the sword is real.
He
I know
does indeed have Erdrick's sword, yes.
which we were already told, but now we have visual confirmation. Hooray!
Yeah. And I would almost say a little bit more attack power and about 10 to 15 more HP, and he might actually be good for the Dragon Lord, even though he doesn't have a whole lot in the way of heal mores. Just because he's already at 135 attack power, so...
And he's going to be getting at least probably, 1, 2, 3 more... Well, a few more levels depending on how high the HP gains are, but... he will most likely gain some more attack power with that and MP as well, but... Yeah, the higher your attack power goes, if it gets to be kind of ridiculous, you can start thinking about going at the lower MP.
Yes, it sort of... I don't want to say exponentially decreases the amount of, the amount of heal mores that you need, but it does actually drop rather quickly once you get beyond about 135 attack power, which is that right now. Another 10 to 15 attack power, and you can almost think about going, once he gets about 10 more HP or so, even if he doesn't get any more heal mores, like I said.
Yeah, at this point, the big issue for him is, of course, finding the stones and the Rainbow Exchange Cave, so... I refuse to call it the Jerk Cave out of principle.
Yes, so finding as you mentioned, finding the Stones of Sunlight is going to be kind of his priority right now, I would think.
That and also finding Hawksness so he could get the armor. Or Callan, of course. It would be one of those two places.
Yep, it's got to be one of those. Either one, I feel like, would be acceptable. Either one would get him the information he needs. Either by directly saying or by process of elimination based on what's there.
Yeah, and by having her more, there really is no question against an armored knight, so... It's a matter of finding that for him. And RCT, when he decides to go back to the castle, he will find... I believe the Staff of Rain was also in the castle.
Yes, that was the
Somewhere.
first Axe Ghost, I believe.
Yes. But still, neither player has found the Stones of Sunlight yet. So that's the last major question we have.
Which it's leaning towards being in Garenham.
Deerenham, or have we found the Mountain Cave yet?
I don't believe so, but also if you find Garenham, there's a good chance you find the Mountain Cave as well at this point.
This is very true, yes.
Yeah, I believe we have not found the Tablet Cave or the Mountain Cave, and one of those has to be in Garenham, so... If I'm correct, then... that will be... He's Hermoring the tree. Why do you hate the forest so much? I am a little curious about his not going back into the castle to see what's in there now that he does have the keys, but...
Right, and meanwhile, remember what I was saying about a few more HP? Well, jkoper just got 24 off of that level up. So.
Oh my. And looks like 2 more attack power from that.
Which is another, basically another max damage on the Dragon Lord. Actually, 135 to 137, I believe it's also another max and another minimum damage on the Dragon Lord, which will be quite helpful. So at this point, we don't know where Erdrick's armor is, although we know it's got to be either on the world map or in Hawksness.
And speaking of Hawksness...
We might be about to find out here. But, also, looking like it's not going to be necessary in this seed, but I don't believe we have found the Fighter's Ring yet, either.
No.
No.
Which, the Fighter's Ring, in case you don't know, well, in Vanilla Dragon Warrior it's bugged, it does absolutely nothing. McGrew for the Randomizer restored its intended functionality, which is a permanent +2 to your attack power. Which doesn't sound like much. In this seed, probably not going to wind up mattering, but in other seeds, when you're right on that cusp of, of the stats that you want to beat the Dragon Lord, it can be the difference between a victory and a defeat. Or, a fairly comfortable victory and it coming down to your very last attack.
So RCT does... Words! RCT does fall to the Armored Knight, unfortunately, because of the sleep spell. Could not wake up.
Yeah, jkoper, meanwhile opting to just attack the Armored Knight.
Doesn't know about the sleep, of course.
No, doesn't know about... He does now, though.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, now he does.
Though he has more health, so... Oh, it did not matter. Wasn't able to escape the sleeping. He was tired.
And RCT picking up the token in the Tantagel treasury.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
And making his way down, I should say, down to the grave.
And very soon we'll be happy to find the Staff of Rain and the Erdrick Sword.
Yep.
You can always tell when a player's excited that they found the Mountain Cave or the grave, because as soon as they go down the steps and light a torch or use Radiant, there's always a slight hesitation in the player's movement.
Yep. So he has now found the Staff of Rain.
And Erdrick Sword. Looking at his attack power, marveling at how beautiful it is, I'm sure.
Yep, and he checks and does find. He actually does, in fact, have Erdrick's Sword. Also, we mentioned the reverse gold grind or the gold grind, and if our players so chose, reverse gold grind is a potential possibility here. Normally, the typical gold grind, you do it in the Tantagel treasury, but there's only the starting 120 gold chest in there this time around. So what you probably want to do in that case is grab everything in the treasury and then go down to Garen's grave and grab the chest there that did have the 500 to 755 gold in it.
And I was too busy looking at RCT and his newfound cave that I forgot to see what jkoper found out.
Yeah, I didn't actually look at what he had. JLo in chat helping us out, saying, but there found nothing.
Thank you, JLo.
I will take his word for it.
Yeah, we must find Cantlin.
Yep. And sorry, Sparkover, RCT dropped the cursed belt.
It's a little bit sad.
Yep.
It was interesting, Jake.
I believe
Jake,
the torch.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It was interesting to see Jake was in the same situation earlier where he had to drop an item. He was holding 4 torches, chose to drop the dragon scale. Which I guess makes sense. Without having radiant at that point, torch is more important. You can always go back for the single dragon scale. It'll take you less time. But
Yes, it did.
Though from what I understand, the dragon scale, once equipped, it doesn't matter if you still have it or not anymore. So
Right,
in theory, it's just...
I know that's how it works in vanilla. I don't know about Randomizer, but I imagine it works the same way.
I believe it does, because in theory, you know, it's just eating up an extra space of your inventory, so if she, the princess, she can potentially take that from you as a token of your love.
Yes. Okay, and Miguru and JLo saying that, oh, by the way, 0 power! I love it! Which I have to imagine we're going to start seeing some smaller strength level ups, just because the strength is already at end game / Dragon Lord levels here.
Yeah. jkoper probably looking at his stats and really thinking that, you know, it's about time to go, but he's still missing the stones.
Yeah, he's missing the stones and the armor.
And the armor, yes.
I mentioned the 3 essential items to build the bridge to Charlock, which is, you know, the final dungeon, which are the Staff of Rain, the Stones of Sunlight, and Erdrick's Token. So the stones are an essential item, and then of course the armor, as I mentioned again. Strictly speaking, not 100% necessary, but you're going to want to grab it to beat this in a reasonable time.
So jkoper's also got a fair experience lead now. He did jump ahead with the exploration earlier on, so aside from now trying to find Cantlin and I suppose the stones,
Yes.
he barely has to focus really on grinding anymore, just because his stats are so out there. I'm sure he still will, at least fight the stronger things like the Axe Knight and such, just because I'm sure he'd like to see his MP higher if it could be. But he doesn't need to worry about that.
Yes. So, yeah, as Tristal is saying, I think it'd be risky. It'd be kind of borderline. He doesn't have a whole lot of heal mores. And his HP is good, but it's not great. He's not going to get a whole lot of double attacks, I don't think. And also, he's lacking the Silver Shield. Which means that the Dragon Lord is going to be hitting him on average, probably a little bit harder than he would in most seeds. On the other hand, his attack power, he just did 2 and then 3 to a Metal Slime in 2 consecutive attacks, so strength not going to be an issue.
Definitely not. The strength is there. RCT going back to try Hawksness. Will he remember to use Stop Spell this time? That will not make a difference to him in the end, unfortunately, as far as we know, but at least he'll have some information.
Yep, he's about to be disappointed here, I think. He does remember Stop Spell.
It didn't hit, though.
AK-47 says, forget your Stop Spell. LOL, sleep. Gonna try it again here. Again, no effect.
Wow.
And again, no effect. So,
well, that's just no good luck for him.
It's, yeah, that's not great luck, although, as I understand the way the randomizer works, the Armored Knight might have close to his max Stop Spell resistance, which I believe is 7 out of 16. In which case, only slightly better than 50-50. I wonder if he might be better off just going for the hurt more, or just attacking even, and, you know, hoping for an attack as opposed to sleep. Or that he gets sleep cast on him and then wakes up in a turn or two. Or even going for the attack and hoping it's a critical hit. That's another option.
Though not as likely, obviously, but still possible. He does gain another level.
jkoper apparently trying to reorient himself, finds the jerk cave again. Okay, McGrew with the inside information here. Telling us that the, oh, here we go. jkoper has found, I believe, a new town. It's Garenham.
Oh my! That is, indeed, a very beautiful town location. The Peninsula of Dreams.
That's right, yes. He did say that way back when.
He did. I am very pleased with that.
Good location.
So jkoper does take a look in the store. I'm not sure quite what he's looking for with the money he has, but takes a look anyway. I guess he could be hoping for a half plate. But he instead takes a nap.
Right. He does not yet actually have Erdrick's armor. Ooh, excuse me.
And at this part, he does know that he does need to find Cantlin for that, but he could still find the Stones of Sunlight here.
Yep.
Either in these chests immediately here, or in whatever is in the basement.
Yep. And he does find the stones.
Mm-hmm. So, no need to even check out what's downstairs.
Nope. Drop the torch. Let's see if he's gonna... Oh, looks like he might be checking it out anyway. Opts to leave instead.
I suppose he was probably just thinking about that and then realizing he doesn't need anything else from down there.
Right, didn't need anything else. I wonder if he was considering maybe a gold grind for a silver shield, although I don't know that we found a silver shield in this seed yet, have we?
Not off the top of my head.
And we've seen Flame Sword. I think we might have seen magic armor. I don't know that we've seen silver shield yet, though.
There was magic armor, I believe, in Garenham itself, actually.
And jkoper does get the rainbow drop. So now, the only thing, I'd say the only thing keeping him from at least making an attempt at the Dragon Lord is Erdrick's armor.
Mm-hmm. But he does know the next town he finds will give him the answers. And in the event that it is an exceedingly twisty space, we do have the Swamp Cave available right nearby.
Yes, indeed. And just looking at this map, it actually seems like a fairly complex map, so... You might see that come into play here.
And RCT
mid now. He's about to find Garenham.
Restocking first, it does look like. I think he probably won't buy anything from here. No. If he does come across a large shield, I could see him buying that.
Yes, but alas, not available here. Yes, well, the princess location is not randomized. The princess is always in the Swamp Cave, and we know where the Swamp Cave is. And jkoper has found Cantlin, so let's see what our coordinates are.
Meanwhile, RCT gets the Stones of Sunlight. I feel like he should know that he wouldn't have to explore what is downstairs in here as well, but we will see shortly what his decision is on that.
Alright, nope, he's just gonna walk out. A little surprised he didn't check the other two chests just to see if the fighter's ring was in there. I mean, I know very much not essential in this particular seed, but You know, chests are right there. I might have done so anyway, but...
So I saw the coordinates were, I think, 3 north and 24, I believe, to the east. Which looks like very, very straightforward.
Yep, not, and there's the armor. Just, hiding out sort of in a forested peninsula.
Someone just threw it off to the side of the castle.
I think the, my all-time favorite is still, what was it, the 3 north, 0 west?
Yes,
Just,
that was a race
out,
with...
Yeah, we're just hanging out on a hill there.
Yeah. So we can only believe that at this point jkoper is going to make the dive.
Yeah.
Possibly finish off, get to level 14, but
right,
very
yeah.
soon.
Yeah, he only needs one more MP to get to 10 heal more, so I would imagine he's at least going to get 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like 3 big enemies away.
Right. In which case, I'm actually a little surprised he's going to fill up his MP now, honestly. I wonder if he's gonna...
Yeah, he must... Yeah, that's
Maybe he'll try right now.
Yeah, might be just going. Maybe just gonna fill up and hope he gets some more HP / strength.
Yeah, because big enough strength, he might not need to worry about the last heal more.
Right.
One last double check to make sure.
Wizard, let's see if he... No? Okay, very interesting. He might just be...
Yeah, he's just going for it.
He might just be going straight down, which... I mean, he is in a... Of course, he doesn't know this, but he is in a commanding lead here, so...
Mm-hmm.
He's got the experience advantage.
But I suppose in a race like this... Sorry.
No, I was going to say, he's got the experience advantage, he has the armor. As far as I know, RCTMid still hasn't found Cantline yet. You know, jkoper is in a pretty commanding position here, although I'd have to think if he knew just how commanding a lead he had, you know, I would think he would kill the last few enemies to get to level 14 and, you know, all but, basically all but seal up the Dragon Lord fight.
Yeah, but with a race like this, when you don't know what your opponent is doing, and you see stats like this, you can possibly think that maybe they're trying to think of going this way, or if they could perhaps have gotten a lead on you, then they may, you know, be a level up and have a guaranteed.
Exactly. It's always fun and always kind of tense to try and make those decisions, especially in a 1v1 race.
Mm-hmm.
Of,
it's kind of
you know,
stressful.
trying to gauge sort of based on how you've done up to the end game. Okay, am I ahead or behind, and what does that mean for basically my decision making in terms of how far to grind, when to go after the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's very obvious, sometimes it's just, well, do I try and sneak in right now when it's technically possible, but who knows?
Right, sometimes you just have to, you know, sometimes you just have to go for it, particularly when playing from behind. You need what I like to call brains, balls, and benevolence. First, you need to, you know, the brains, you need to correctly deduce the situation that, you know, that you are in fact behind and that you are going to have to press whether you want to or not. Then, you know, the balls to actually commit to that decision, because being put in that position means you're probably going to have to make a dive at the Dragon Lord when your odds really aren't that great. But you just have to recognize that even though they aren't great, long term, in the short term, that does in fact represent your best chance to win, to kind of sneak the victory. And then the benevolence. Even when you realize you have to take the long shot and you've committed to the long shot, you still need it to work out. Which, most of the times it will not work out, but in the meantime, let's see, I wonder if, oh, is that the Fun Police? It is the Fun Police. I wonder if,
Wee-oo.
yeah, Wii U. But, wonder if jkoper is going to try and kill one more enemy here before?
So I'm just going to switch the sound over. I know jkoper does have the microphone, but we need some intense Dragon Lord music over here.
No, E is just gonna go for it, it looks like. Okay.
Using a couple heals because he does have the spare MP.
Yep.
And 1 herb.
Yeah. Elects not to join the Dragon Lord. Good move.
Good choice.
Yeah, gonna try to build up his HP here before phase 2. Dragon Lord not really cooperating here.
RCT finally does find his way to Catelyn, so after this he will get a quick snatch of the armor. I didn't actually see him get the rainbow drop, but I have to assume he did just because it was so close to Gardenham.
Not great luck there in phase 1
No.
for jkoper. He is going to get at least 2 attacks here, though. Or maybe not.
That is part of lacking the silver shield among, you know, lowered agility.
Yes, indeed. $27, there's a good attack from the Dragon Lord. Oh, he's going to get a double attack there. That's going to hugely help his odds.
Yeah.
Oh, he elects to gamble. And it works out. Well, besides the lower agility, which might somewhat lower his odds here, the Dragon Lord has a 50% chance of attacking and a 50% chance of breathing fire. And when he breathes fire, he has a 25% chance each of doing 42, 44, 46, or 48 damage.
Meanwhile, RCT found the Dragon Lord and is going right back to Tantagel to heal his MP. I feel like he is going to be heading straight to Sherlock as well.
And, yeah, we just saw there, we mentioned the lower agility, no silver shield, though we just saw the Dragon Lord attack for 49, so... the swing at 48 earlier was... And there's another attack for 48. So, swinging at 48 a little bit more dangerous now than it would be in most steeds.
So it looks like RCT is opting for the leveling a little bit more. I feel like the next level would probably make him happy in terms of fighting, but
yep.
As we see, jkoper is very close to the end here.
Yes.
And he does it.
Yep. jkoper has defeated the Dragon Lord.
Sub-hour.
Very nice.
Alright, cool. 1 race. That's my chat, Sparkover.
He's talking to me. I copied and pasted the time to post into my chat, and I did put it in his.
Yes. So we see there that his official SRL time, 58 minutes, 12 seconds. That is certainly one of the fastest times in this tournament. Probably the fastest non-speed hacks, I would have to think.
Actually, wasn't the speed hacks one a little bit shorter? Or longer, rather? At least the recent one? I thought it was. I could be wrong, though.
I don't know off the top of my head, honestly.
Yeah.
But
I'm just
Can
telling
you hear
them.
me?
Oh, hello.
Hello, RCTMid.
How's it going, guys?
Not too bad.
How are you doing tonight?
Well, that was, I had a feeling I was going too slow.
Some crazy stat gains in that level, though. They seem to be either all over the place, either very high or very EmptyEye loving.
Yeah, just a ton of power early on. I mean, I was naked
Yeah.
and weaponless early on and killing everything, so. Yeah, I don't know. I could see, I could see where I wasted a lot of time in a lot of places. Yeah, you know, that had to go fast. I didn't find Caitlin until way late.
Right.
I imagined,
Hello.
I didn't find Remoldar until 30 minutes in, I imagined, and it was as close to Tanager as it was. I imagined that jkoper probably found that a lot quicker than I did, too.
I did not.
Yes. Yes, he did. The other big thing was he found Brecconary quite early, and he had actually saved and reset, which let him keep his gold. So
Yeah,
when
I
he
had
found
gotten
that,
him
he managed to grab a hand axe and chainmail, which helped him out with his early game grind.
I had gotten a metal slime early enough that I didn't feel I could reset, so.
Oh, I went to reset after Metal Slime either.
Yeah, one thing I will say is metal slime kills actually kept you in, at the very least, the experience race for quite a while.
Yeah, I got like 3, I think 2 of them.
Yeah, I think you had 3.
Yeah.
Too early on for sure, though. So that kept you up there.
I do, yeah, but then, you know, where I fell behind was, again, not having any armor and not having a weapon, so. But, yeah, that was a fun seed. I thought about trying to go at 13. I just, you know, 9 heal more is just, I mean, I know my attack power is like 139 or something, but I don't know.
I know it's always tough when you know, one of your stats is kind of lagging behind the others.
But even if I decided to go, I mean, I still would have been behind Jay. I hadn't even gone into Charlock yet, so yeah, whatever. It was a good game.
All right, yeah.
Sub-hour, man. Are you here, Jay?
Can you all hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you all hear me?
Oh, I can't hear Jay.
I cannot, so I
Okay.
will reload and see what happens.
I'll try refreshing.
He's back. Probably disconnecting.
Can you
I
hear
see.
me now?
I can hear you.
Now I can hear you.
Lovely.
Yeah, congrats, man. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. Very fast seed.
Yeah, that was a very fast seed. It was a really weird seed because all of the chests were really annoying and bad.
Right.
And then but every time we got a level up, it was like, oh, here's 10 more strength. Here's 20 strength.
Right, or like the first
Yeah,
level
that
up was like
last time.
40
Sorry about
MP
that.
with no spells.
What's
Yes.
that? Oh, yeah, and then no spells. That was really funny, too.
But
At
like
least they got
second
heal
level,
more fairly early.
second level you get 40 MP, but you have no spells. That was
Right.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I even had to check. I was in a fight, like, at level 5.
I know, me too.
And I had to check my spells, and you cannot use the spell. Like,
So I think a couple of things that came down to for me, I did not find her Moldar until half hour in, and I knew when I found it, it's like, nah, this is over.
I
It's so
didn't-
close to Tanagel.
I didn't think I found it early either. I found a lot of things before Remaldar.
Yeah.
Like, I went through the swamp cave and then found Charlock from the back,
Yeah.
which was weird. And I'm like, oh, this is like one screen south of Tanagel.
Yeah, right. And I tried getting through that stupid cave like 4 times.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. I tried a few times too.
And
Had to
then
try and find it.
I went to the Axe Knight in Hawk's Nest like 4 times, and then found there's nothing there.
I had to go at him twice.
I
But then the
got-
second time I realized I had to stop spelling everything.
Well, so then so then I went back and I tried stop spell and it failed like 3 times.
Oh,
I
really?
couldn't get it to land.
Yeah.
That's pretty unlucky.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very unlucky.
Oh, it's so frustrating. And
yeah,
then I
we,
finally go back and I get him and there's nothing there.
Yeah. If you're curious, Migru with the secret hacks told us Armored Knight's stop spell resistance in that particular seed 5 out of 16.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
failing it once isn't super surprising, but 3 times in a row, yeah, you actually got quite unlucky there, kind of in the aggregate.
I think I only killed that one, so it didn't mean much for me.
Yeah, jkoper, tell us about your decision to just dive for the Dragon Lord at 13, because from what we could tell, you were only a couple kills away from 14. We were a little surprised you didn't at least finish
Yeah,
that off
I
on the
thought
way
about it,
down.
but I decided it was good enough. Like, my strength was crazy, so I just didn't want to waste any more time messing around. So,
Right, did you think you were ahead, behind at that point?
Probably ahead. Can never be sure, but the one thing that did throw me off was that when I finally found a metal slime and I was like level 10 or so already, it was like 10 steps east of start, and that's always a little upsetting if you haven't seen a metal slime all race and there's one that close to start, because that was something that, you know, that was one of the only advantages I didn't have at the start.
Right. I'm not sure if you were in the chat when we mentioned it, but metal slime kills were really what was keeping RCT in the experience race for most of that. For most of it, because he killed 3 metal slimes throughout that race.
Yeah.
No, I was listening. I was trying to talk then too, but it wasn't coming through.
Right. Okay.
Well, as always, Jay, it's an honor to lose to you. Now I get to go. What's that?
I said you beat me before, and it'll.
I know. I'm holding on to that one win. That was fun seed. I'm glad it wasn't like a 3-hour seed because I'm tired.
The locations of Garanham. I don't know if Cantland was really that bad.
No.
It was kind of out of the way.
It was just
Garanham
kind of
was
all
really something on the other side of a huge swamp. Just tucked away there.
Yeah, like on a little peninsula. I thought about it. It almost felt like a little vacation getaway.
Yeah, Sparkover liked that a lot.
I had a feeling Spark liked that one. But yeah, Cantland was all the way out in the middle of nowhere. I didn't find that till way at the end.
When I finally started heading south there, I was like, I don't think I've explored this southwest corner here entirely, but I know Cantland's going to be over here, so I'm just going to walk over here right away. Like,
I think I was just 10 minutes behind you every step of the way. And a seed like this, you can't afford that.
I don't know how far behind you really were. Like,
well, I was just in Hawksnest getting ready to grind Axe Knights to level 14 when you finished. So, even if I'd gone at 13, it would have been. I mean, what was our agility at 13? I can't remember.
It was like 81 or something.
Yeah, so you must have had pretty good escape luck.
It was okay.
Your encounter rate seemed pretty absurd. Because I was watching you, and I think I was talking about something RCT was doing on his screen, and all of a sudden I look up and you're at the bottom of Charlock. I'm like, wow, okay.
Awesome.
I didn't have any encounters on the second dark floor.
Wow.
Which has all of the,
It's the longest one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go through the, make the blind turns if you're going dark, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It happens sometimes. I had encounters in other places, and I got several red dragons and stuff, and I was getting a little worried at times that I'd have to use it more. I'm glad I didn't, because I wouldn't have made it, but it would have been interesting to see what level 14 would have brought, I guess.
Can they check? Can you guys check it?
Yeah, they can definitely check.
How much MP would 14 have gotten?
MP and strength, I guess.
And then, agility, wouldn't have come, but strength probably not much since we got so much.
Yeah, I don't actually have the restream up. I have the chat.
No, that'd be Sparkover's thing to do, but I don't know if she's...
I don't know if she's listening right now.
Sorry, I'm trying not to interrupt.
Oh, can you check stats for level 14?
Oh, yes, I can. I can see. Which build? Any build?
Strength agility.
Strength agility. Strength of 98, agility 89, HP 111, MP 88. So let's see.
Gotten 9. See, I would have gone at that. What was your build, Jay?
Strength HP.
Oh, strength HP.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had decided, a week or two ago, you know, that I was gonna try out strength agility, and I think it still might be better, but I just did strength.
What?
the last
How
few
close
races,
was your
just because-
How close was your Dragon Lord fight?
I had enough. I was out of MP, but I could have taken one more hit.
Wow,
When you
man,
died.
that's nuts.
One note is that you actually, at one point, you gambled at 48 HP.
Okay.
You swung and it paid off, which was actually your odds were actually a little bit worse than normal there. Because I don't know if you noticed, but you took an attack for 48 and another attack for 49 at 2 separate points in that fight.
Yeah, but I mean that's the far high range of an attack.
Right.
So it's more likely that you'll get fire breath for 48 than that you get.
Right, then that you'll get attacked for 48. But it did, you know, marginally lower the odds. I don't know if you were aware that that was a possibility when you swung at 48, but, you know, normally when you do that and you see the Dragon Lord attacks, it's like a sigh of relief, because, you know you're going to survive, which
Yeah.
was not necessarily a guarantee this time, so.
No, I'd still rather see an attack there than a fire breath, though.
Oh, certainly, but.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, thanks for staying up late.
Oh yeah.
Bless you.
Sorry. I
Yes.
tried to hold the microphone
that
far
was
away as I
good.
could.
It was a good time because kids are asleep and all that stuff. But
Right.
well, so I look forward to watching the rest of it. It's getting really crazy. The strength of the players that are in it, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, it's we're, you know, I've kind of said this throughout the tournament, but we're really at the point now where, you know, one crucial decision the right way or the wrong way can really decide some of these races with, you know, the skill of some of these players. But jkoper, I believe you are moving on to play Jackamus in the next round.
Nope.
Any thoughts on that, or?
That should be a lot of fun.
I don't
Back
even know him.
Great.
How does he? I haven't seen him around much, but like,
You've been around.
okay. I guess I just don't know him. I haven't interacted with him. But he obviously isn't. He's seated way high.
Yeah, he's commented on one or two of my races, so.
Yeah, he's been around a lot. If you're ever in the Discord, you'd see him there.
And he only lost by like 2 minutes to home.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a really weird race. He had some strange strategies going on at the end, and was kind of caught like in the area between the last forced encounter and the Dragon Lord, and was in a weird in-between area with whether he should go on to the Dragon Lord or not, I think. Mr. Holmes was on a different build, of course.
Yeah. So when would the next scheduled race be?
When
Because
would
we've
the
got
next
six.
one?
The next scheduled race, is there one scheduled? There's probably not one scheduled next, is there?
Yeah, there's something scheduled.
It's gonna get exciting now.
Yeah, I don't remember if there's something tomorrow. I know that I will be playing High Spirits on Thursday in the morning. If I can pull up the schedule.
2 races scheduled for Thursday.
Yeah, I'm seeing nothing for the next 2 days, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing as well. Well, that could change.
Yeah, there is always... I know there are more races due to pop up to be scheduled.
I mean, you got some interesting players in that losers bracket. I mean, JBT is like, I mean, he beat EmptyEye the other day. That was interesting. He's really gotten strong.
Yeah. He's, I was mentioning before that match that, you know, at this point you almost can't really put a whole lot of stock into the seedings because of sort of the late rush to sign up and all those players practicing and getting better in between the cutoff for sign-ups and now, you know. So.
Yeah, well.
Um,
All right, guys. I'm gonna head to bed. Thanks for the interview and all that, and we'll see y'all around.
Thanks for racing RCT.
Yeah, you too. Good job. Good game.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Look forward
GG's
to
to both of you.
Yeah, good night.
You're on, guys.
I'll talk to Jack, and I bet we'll get our race set up some. That should be fun.
All right. Well, otherwise, I think that is it for the night. Any final words or anything from anybody? Unless nobody can hear me, I think there will be no other
there we
final
go.
words.
I can hear you.
I had disconnected for a second, so I actually wasn't sure.
Okay,
But I
I
can-
wasn't quite sure what that was. I heard the blue boop.
No, RCT left, but
No, I had also disconnected and come back,
yeah.
but I
Okay.
believe that is about... Oh! It sounds like Crystal says McGrew and I just scheduled ours for tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
very nice.
So that will indeed be the next race that we are aware of so far. That should be an interesting one. Our number 1 seed versus the creator of this whole thing.
Yes, that's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so for now I suppose I will say goodnight to everybody. Please remember to follow all of our awesome people who are jkoper and RCTMid who just played. And
Indeed.
I'm not sure who will be doing the restream of the tournament tomorrow. But
I don't know.
we will find out.
Yes.
So have a lovely night, everybody.
Yes. Good night, everybody. Thanks to CaptMars and Sparkover for co-commentating. And
Oh,
of
for
course,
sure. Thank you for commenting
yes.
with me.
Yes, thank you to Sparkover for the restream as well. And of course, thanks to jkoper and RCT for that race. That was quite exciting.
Yeah, it's a good night all around.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Okay, good night.